And Drayden.
How's it going?
Camera's getting a little wonky, but appreciate everybody joining us today. As you guys know, we're doing a giveaway, fish giveaway. So we're going to be giving people a few minutes to get on, and then we're going to announce the winner of that giveaway. And I think we have some more fish to show them, right?
Yeah, we got a whole new Indo import this week. Fish are going to go live right after we're done with the live stream. So we're going to show you guys exactly what we got, and then we're going to list them up for purchase because they're looking great.
Yeah, we got a lot of new fish on this order that we haven't had before, so that's exciting. I think we got more clown loaches in on this one.
Clown loaches, lots of common stuff, lots of rare stuff as well, big, small, everything in between. So we're really excited to share with you.
Yep. All right, well, let's give it a few minutes. I don't see anybody on. We're going to just flip this camera around. We got Jared here. He's been putting out some great videos for us. So we did order our tanks. We submitted the order today. So hopefully, you know, it'll probably take a few months for them to make the tanks and drill them. But, you know, hopefully we'll have a lot more tanks set up here by the end of the year. So while we're letting people get on, we'll show you guys some of the endo stuff on this row. What do we got here on some puffers on this one? Is that the red eye?
Yeah, we got some oddballs here on this row to start you off with something weird. These are Sumatran red eye puffers, also called Irubesco puffers or male puffers. There's a nice male right behind that plant there. They're really interesting. They are sexually dimorphic. Females have more of that modeling color, and the males are more solid green with the red tail and red eyes. They are pretty nippy towards each other, which is, you can see with some of the shredded fins, but if you give them a lot of plants and cover, they do pretty well, and they can be kept with some of the schooling fish like Rasboras and stuff that are too fast to be nipped at.
They look evil with those red eyes.
Yeah, they look crazy.
Poachers.
Yeah, we got some bikers in. We got these are just your basic Senegal Biker. They're just solid brown color as they get old. They're probably about 12 inches long when they're fully mature, and you know, they're great for big tanks. They kind of just hang out on the bottom usually when they get bigger. Right now they're just kind of swimming around, but bikers are interesting because they're very prehistoric.
Yeah, they look ancient looking.
They look ancient. They actually have when they're young, they have exposed gills that come out kind of like axolotls, if you've ever seen those animals, and they actually have an organ that allows them to breathe in atmospheric oxygen. So you'll see them rise up to the surface and take a big gulp of air every now and then.
We got some more.
Yeah, we got another really exciting species, the gold dust biker. These are one of the more famous ones. They're not super golden when they're young, but as they get to about 4 inches, they have a really nice gold pattern that shines over their underlying scales, which is really neat. So we got, I think, about 10 or 11 of these guys. They're still really young, as you can see, but definitely one of the rare species of biker. Yeah. And then we got a really crazy puffer here, the dragon or humpback puffer.
Ooh, there we go.
These guys are about 4 to 5 inches long. He's swimming right now. Look at him.
That's crazy.
They're crazy fish. This is probably about their max size, about 6 inches long. They are aggressive and they are ambush fish, so we don't recommend keeping them with other fish, but you can keep them as a group, which is interesting and kind of unique for puffers as well. So, you know, in this about 30 gallons worth of space, we've got 4 of them, and that's probably pushing it, but one fish would be fine in a 30 or 40 gallon tank permanently, and you can feed them, you know, frozen fish or krill or feeder fish even if you wanted. But they're very interesting. They kind of alternate between being very outgoing like this guy is, and then very quiet and sedentary like these two over on the left side are. They're just kind of sitting there, but very beautiful pattern. Look at that belly.
And the fact they don't get like really big.
They don't get huge. They're not like the Niles. So that's it for this row. We did get pea puffers, but we're still working on acclimating them because they're always small and sensitive. So they came in pretty good, but we're hoping by early middle next week we'll have these available as well. And these are tank bred by our friends in Indonesia, which is exciting.
Yeah. And we don't like sending them out until they've completely gone through a quarantine process where they're 100% healthy on our end. So You know, that's just, sometimes it takes us a lot longer to be able to list them because, you know, we're going to wait till those guys are 100% before we start shipping them out.
Yeah, pea puffers are always a problem like that. They're so small and delicate that when they get shipped across the world for 18 hours, it really takes a toll, and they need time to rest too. People don't really realize that. They might be perfectly healthy, but if they're not rested, now if they're shipped off again, they're going to really be jet lagged.
Yeah. Well, you guys ready for us to go pick a winner? I see we got, you know, 31 people on, so let's walk in there and pick out the winner, and then we'll show you guys some more fish.
Also, I saw a question from Chris. We just showed all the puffers we just got, and we also have Nile puffers in stock, or the Fahaka. And if things go well, we might have South American puffers pretty soon too.
Nice. We are working on a Peru order that we're hoping will come in next week. And this order, we're going to have a lot of stuff that we normally do not get access to, so a lot of more rare stuff. So we're excited about that. And guys, just so you know, if you do figure out what our phone number is, we typically don't answer it, all right? So we're really bad about that because during the day, we're usually working with the fish. So, and it ends up being usually spam calls for us. So email, Facebook Messenger. So this is the fish that we're giving away. And we put out a video on YouTube. I think it came out Monday that Jared had put together for us to let everybody know that every Friday we're going to do a giveaway of some sort. So this Friday, we didn't put the video out till yesterday, and it actually got a lot of interest in it just, you know, in 24 hours. But we're going to try to get the video out earlier in the week of what the giveaway is going to be. And then every Friday we're going to announce it on the live feed. I figured, you know, that's our way of giving back. We have done this in the past, and people really liked it. We liked it. But the problem is that it takes a lot of extra work on our end, and we've really been so busy with this new building that we haven't had time to, you know, to do it. So now we're going to start that back up, and the one that we're giving away is the pink flash. It's a hybrid.
Yep.
The strain came from Germany, right?
Yep.
He could probably explain more. I think there's a lot of unknowns still about it, right?
Yeah, we're not too sure exactly how they created this hybrid, but I'm guessing it was something like a dragon blood and a electric blue Ali, essentially, because they have that real long pointed body, very slender fish, but they're also bright orange, pink, and red. So definitely a hybrid, not anything naturally occurring in the lake, but very pretty nonetheless. And you know, we don't like certain hybrids in the hobby, but for fish that the hybridization doesn't really affect the fish's health, and they're not being, you know, crossed with pure strains, we're all for it. So, these are about 4 months old. They were put in a pond earlier in the summer, and we got back some really nice males, so we want to share one with you.
So about 3 inch, they're pretty good size. So the way this is going to work, everybody that commented on that Facebook post is entered into the contest. If you commented twice on it, it's going to only allow one comment. So it automatically, you know, picks just one comment, and we're got everything set up, and that's the winner, right?
Yeah, congrats, Terry. You won that pink flash fryer eyes. So if you don't mind shooting me an email, that would be awesome. Just imperialtropicals@gmail.com. I'll do my best to find your name and reach out to you via Facebook as well when I get a second. But yeah, we'd love to send this fish to you. Of course, if there's anything else you see on our list that you want while you're getting an order, definitely take note of it. We can put that order together for you.
Yeah, and I was telling Drayden that, you know, we had so many people that, you know, put in and commented on that post that I felt like we needed to pick some other winners for some giveaways. So I think we're going to do 3 $20 promo codes. So we're going to pick 3 more winners here. All right. So let's see. And this is for a $20 promo code.
Austin the Caller. Congrats, Austin. You're the first winner of our $20 code. Hopefully you get some of that new stuff we got in.
Yep. And Austin, what we're going to do is, you just reach out to us by email. We're going to try to tag you on that post, but we'll email you a promo code for $20.
Next up, we got Shenda Hu. Congrats,
Shenda
Shenda.
Hu. Another $20 promo code winner. So awesome. One more.
Matthew Reed.
Nice. All right, so next week I'm going to probably mix it up each week, but I know we got some hats over here that we don't have them on the website. We got some samples, and I know everybody's been asking for some of these different colored hats, so we're going to give away some swag gear next week. So definitely we're going to give away some hats, and we're also going to do fish, plants, snails. I haven't decided yet what it's going to be. We'll try to make that announcement earlier in the week, so you guys aren't waiting until Thursday to find out about it. And we also got some green hats over here, so we're going to reorder these hats, and we're going to start offering some other different colored hats and shirts. So congratulations, everybody. Once this is over, we'll reach out to you guys and tag you guys in the post, and we'll get you set up with what you won. So we did show out the puffers, so we'll jump over to the next row and look at some of the other stuff that we just got in.
Yep, next row we'll have some of the South American stuff. It's all tank bred that we got, which means they acclimate very easily. But we'll start with some plecos here. We got the Sunshine or Goldie plecos, L14. They're all up on the left and right side.
Yeah, so this is really exciting because this fish is, I would say within the last 5 years, was the first recorded spawning of it. In fact, there's a gentleman in Endo that breeds a lot of the rare plecos, and he's the one that's been having success with it. And so to get these guys tank raised, there are actually none of them on the wood here. They're all up here in the corner. But that is a really rare Brazilian Pleco that, typically when you do get them in from the wild, they're $100+ for 6 to 8 inch size. So beautiful, beautiful fish. Great algae cleaner. So to be able to get these guys tank raised is pretty exciting.
And up next, we've had these before, and everyone seems to like them. These are Sultan Plecos, the L264s.
And this is another Brazilian one that is pretty rare. It doesn't get as big as the Goldie does, but just to be able to get these guys tank raised is very exciting, because this is another one that is not an easy fish to breed. So those guys are really cool looking when they're that size.
Yep, they're awesome. They get maybe 4 or 5 inches long at most, and they're just a nice gray color with black spots and white tips on the fins. Really, really nice.
I'm pretty sure both of those are more on the herbivore side, right?
These are omnivores.
Omnivores?
Yeah, and
actually,
I
those
believe
might
those
be
might be
carnivores.
omnivores.
Yeah, also.
Yeah.
I know they've got the big teeth on them for like cracking open the shells too.
So if we look behind us, we've got some new Corys down here. These are the violet Corys, Corydoras Symbolis. And they get their name from that big spot right on the caudal peduncle. It's a kind of a bluish violet color, and it turns to little tiny spots as it creeps up their back. It's hard to see on film, but if you look at pictures online, you really see how spotted they are.
Really unique looking.
Very interesting. They got big spots on their faces, and they get smaller as they go back towards the big blotch.
Yeah, this tank's got a lot of calcium on it.
We got a rare Brazilian Tetra. Again, this is tank bred, so it's very exciting, not only for us to be able to get them and keep them alive easier, but for you guys too, because that means they're a heck of a lot cheaper. This is the blueberry Tetra, or the wad-eye Tetra. And I remember 2-3 years ago when these started coming in from Brazil, they were like $30 a piece retail. And I know a lot of you probably can't imagine ever spending $30 on a Tetra, but for one, these are very rare and very colorful when they get bigger, but two, very hard to get out of the wild. So now that they're being tank bred, we can offer them at a sustainable price for you and for us. And they're about half grown right now. They get maybe 3 inches long, and they turn really nice blue with bright red fins.
Yeah, this is an exciting Tetra. I remember Hans, when I was in Germany, showed me some of these guys, and he's actually the one that got this strain to our friend Jeffrey in Indonesia to breed.
And up next is an interesting Tetra out of Bolivia. These are considered a very close relative of the lemon Tetra, and they are called orange lemon tetras or tangerine lemon tetras. They are essentially the same fish, but more orange instead of yellow, and they don't have the black tips on their fins. Right now they don't look like much because they are very young still, but when they get full grown, about 1.25 inches, they're solid orange. They're really incredible.
And a lemon Tetra is already very colorful, so I could only imagine when these guys get mature with that orange, that'll be a really nice looking fish. Got some nice cardinals there.
Yep, and then we got some rummy nose finally, everybody. I know a lot of people have been waiting for these, and you know, we've had the Peruvian rummy nose for a while now, but these are the Colombian species of rummy nose, and they are popping with color right now.
Yeah.
We're very happy.
Really good size for tank raised.
They're huge.
Yeah.
I've never seen them this big tank bred before, so it's encouraging.
Yeah, really nice. Got 2 tanks of those guys. Yeah, I like the red on the nose. It looks, you know, a lot more colorful than the Peruvian.
Yep, they definitely have more red. They're smaller than the Peruvian. The Peruvians have a slightly bigger tail, so there are trade-offs, which makes, you know, keeping each one very unique.
Yeah.
Another new Tetra to us is the Panda Tetra, or Dawn Tetra. They are little silver tetras with black and white spots on their fins, hence the Panda common name.
Really cool the way that black and white.
Really interesting juxtaposition
pops.
of colors there. They look great in little small tanks. They don't really get much bigger than this. So again, you know, keep a group of 10 of them in a 10-gallon tank with a pair of Apistos and you're set up.
Yeah, really cool looking Tetra. I like that. And guys, these fish all will be listed after the live feed. There might be some that end up getting put on hold for a little bit longer, but for the most part, everything that's good to go will be listed.
This is a Brazilian species of Cory called the Scleromystax barbatus. They get about 3.5 inches. They get pretty big, and they're black and gold, which is really awesome. And males get really long and pointed fins that extend over 1 inch long, which is awesome for Corys. So these again are tank bred, which is nice because you know, Brazilian fish are hard to get, and it's more sustainable to breed them. But they won't have the great black and gold color yet. But they're gold. They've got promise at least.
And it's exciting to see all these fish being tank raised. Like, you typically would not find this fish, you know, at least on the wholesale market. You know, there's probably, you know, several hobbyists that have bred them in their tanks in the past, but the fact that our friend Jeffrey's breeding all this stuff, and Hans Evers from Amazonas Magazine has been really doing a great job getting breeders these rare fish to breed to get them in the hobby. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything on that side, or is that just the...
That's probably it. I think we've showed that stuff off the last few weeks.
All right.
I think we just have to stop and show off the Harlequins.
Oh, yeah.
These aren't from the Indo import, but man, look how big they are.
Oh.
They're like 1.25 inches long, full size.
Really nice. Is this from our local guy?
Yep, this is a local supplier who we get them from all the time, and they're gigantic.
Yeah. Really nice. I wouldn't mind getting some photos now that we finally see them big, because typically, I mean, they're like dime size.
Yeah.
So,
And then below them, we got Panda Garas back in.
finally, you see those guys like that fast-flowing water.
It's always fun with these guys. You have to drop the water level in the tank down a few inches, otherwise they'll basically climb out.
Yeah, I call them like little Mighty Mouse. I mean, they will climb out of a tank, so you got to make sure that the lid's secured. But a nice algae cleaner, and they do well in groups, right?
Yep, they do well in groups. They're notorious for helping clean off really tough algae like blackbeard algae and stuff like that. So if you've got an infestation in your community tank, they do really great. They have a lot of color when they get big, some reds, some olive greens, some stripes. Really, really great Gara to keep around.
Yeah. Oh, that Williams Eye blue lip male's starting to get some full color yellow on him right there. These are breeders, right?
Yep, these are breeders. We've got some juveniles up for sale. They're obviously a little bit scared of the camera, but one of the bigger Mbuna, but definitely one of the prettiest with those blue lips and yellow bodies.
Yeah.
So here we got a new wild type betta. They are the Scarlet Bettas or Betta Cucina.
Let's see if I can get any of these closer.
They're not like your typical bettas that you find at, PetSmart. They're very thin, very long. They have awesome deep red coloration, and they have an iridescent blue spot on their side. They are kind of shy. They prefer the darkness a lot, so they're great for small, low-light planted tanks with, just some peaceful algae scrapers or Rasboras or something like that. But you can see they have really nice color.
Yeah, they're really cool looking.
They're very peaceful too. You can keep them in groups. They will pick at each other a little bit, but they're not like the typical bettas that just go out and kill each other.
Yeah, no, I'm excited that we're starting to get some of these wild type bettas in because, I really prefer them over the domesticated ones.
Yeah, definitely. They look much better. And then we've got some dwarf spotted Rasboras here.
Wow, a couple of those males starting to pop with some red too.
These guys are fully grown, about ½ an inch long, perfect for your 3 and 5 gallon tanks, but they also look great in a group in a 10, 20, or 30 gallon tank as well, as long as you've got your filtration covered, because they can slip through that. But these little fish work great with the bettas that we just showed off. They're super peaceful. They're not going to bother anyone, and yeah, they're great for kind of first-time community tanks.
Yeah, they got just really bright colors. You can see some of the males starting to color up there. I mean, they're like cherry red.
Up here we have a new type of killifish for us, the gardener eye killifish. They came in pretty young. I've never seen them this young myself, but you can see some males like this guy here. He's got a little color starting to come in. But yeah, they're a very active killifish. I don't believe they are an annual species, so you will have them longer than just 1 year, unlike a lot of killies. And we do our best to send them in pairs, but we are going to be selling them unsexed because they're pretty small and they're going to be hard to sex for a while.
I'm excited to also start getting some killies in too. That's another fish that I like to expand on. That'd be a good starter killie for people right there.
Speaking of killifish, I'm not sure the camera will even pick these up.
These guys are tiny.
Can you tilt the camera up? If you look, they're all up at the top.
I see them.
These are clown killies or rocket killies. They are probably about the width of a fingernail right now. Very, very small. They came in pretty great considering their size, but we're going to be holding off for a few more days just so they have enough time to rest. But they've already, I can see, got bellies full of brine shrimp. And they're one of the more colorful small killifish out there from Western Africa. Really interesting. Their tails get red, yellow, and blue on them, which looks like kind of like the flame of a rocket ship as it takes off, which is how they get their name. Very nice fish. Very easy to spawn. Just put them with a bunch of plants, and they'll essentially do the work themselves.
It's cool how they start all hanging up top like that.
Yeah.
Orange lifted baits. I'm just throwing you guys a teaser up there.
Yeah, these are not for sale. Don't get excited, but we are pulling fry from them every few weeks, so we hope to have more here soon. They take forever to grow, and they're not super prolific, unlike peacocks and some of the other haps. So it's a long-term process with them. I think this is another new one for us.
Yeah.
Those stream loaches, these are Borneo sucker loaches.
Really cool, flat. They like fast-flowing water. Good algae cleaner. These are also tank raised, I believe.
These are probably wild.
Yeah.
considering where they come from. But either way, they're harvested sustainably, because just to remind everyone, the fishermen that are catching these fish need the fish to, you know, keep going in order to make a living, so they're not going to over harvest them. But these guys are awesome. They like a lot of big, flat, round river rock to graze on. They have modified fins that form basically a suction cup so that they can withstand very, very fast currents. I just see a comment here. No, I don't recommend keeping them with Africans. They will just get killed immediately.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, really, very few fish that don't come from Africa can be kept with Africans, you know? So even clown loaches, a lot of people like keeping clown loaches with Africans. We typically do not recommend it, just because it's not going to be a happy home for the clown loaches. You know, they might survive, but we should be able to do better than just having them survive, you know?
And the good thing is with all these imports is that we have enough species diversity to help you guys build a new tank. If you wanted to go for an Indonesian tank or a rainbow fish tank or a Tetra tank, we have enough variety here to say, well, I really want these Borneo sucker loaches. Let me set up a 10-gallon tank. What can I put with them? And I can give you a list that's, you know, 10 fish long, so you can choose the perfect assortment for your new small tank that you want to try instead of Africans, because we do have more than Africans.
Yeah.
Another cool fish we just got in, these are one of my favorite Rasboras. These are called clown Rasboras. They are about 2 inches long right now, but they get maybe 4 to 5 inches, and they get completely cherry red with the nice iridescent blue spots on them. Really nice fish. They usually hang out up at the top, swimming into the current. If they start doing it again, I'll try to take a video just to put up on the websites to show everyone how cool they look. But very nice, bigger Rasbora, great for, you know, a 40 or 50 gallon tank with a decent current, and super peaceful.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've never had those in before. Chili Rasboras.
Yeah, we restocked the chilies again, everybody. These are very similar to the dwarf spotted Rasboras that we showed a few minutes ago. They just have a straight line instead of the little spots. And they typically are a little bit more red as well. I kept a group of 15 of these in a 5-gallon Fluval spec tank back home, and I can't recommend them enough. They are so awesome. They don't need much space. The males are always colored up, and the females alternate from, you know, colorful and non-colorful depending on their mood.
I mean, the nice thing about all these fish is because they could go in a small tank.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, a lot of people don't have the space for big tanks. So to set up a 5 or 10-gallon tank is a lot more feasible and economical, and, you know, so these are great fish that don't get too big.
And the chili Rasboras, we're going to give them a few more days as well, just through the weekend, because they're so small and fragile that we want to make sure they're fully ready to go.
Narrow wedge Rasbora, did I come in on that order, or was that local?
These are another import, not this one, but they are from the same region. They're very closely related to Harlequin Rasboras. As you can see, they have that same orange stripe with the little bit of black wedge on them. They just don't have as big of a wedge. So these are the Hengelai. So they're great. They're about halfway grown. You can see they do get about as big as those Harlequins will.
Yeah, they're nice looking too.
Yeah, lots of color.
Well, I'm glad we put these in a 40 this time, because now we can show them off with
Now
the
we can
camera.
show them off, yeah.
I mean, these guys are really unique looking.
These are Sundadanio goblinus, or the neon blue Rasbora. They have almost translucent looking bodies with a neon blue stripe to them. A little bit of red in the abdomen, and they are very sensitive fish, but you can see they acclimate pretty well to our pH, which is about 8.2 right now. So, you know, imagine pulling these guys out of the wild from pH of probably 4, shipping them across the world, and then acclimating to pH 8. I mean, that's like a 10,000% change, and they still do well. So I encourage people to give these guys a test too with their little bettas and chili Rasboras, because these are not very common, but they're super pretty, and they do look great in dark tanks too, because when the light shines off of them, it's it's amazing.
Yeah, really cool looking Rasbora.
Last one on this row. Perfect fit for those blue Rasboras are chocolate Gouramis.
This is a Gourami that we get asked about a lot, so it's good that we're able to get these guys in, and they look really, really nice.
Yep, they're about 1 inch long. They're super healthy. We haven't had any issues with them so far. Sometimes chocolate Gouramis can be a bit finicky, but again, acclimating them up to 8.0, 8.2, and they seem fine so far, so we really hope that everyone who buys them will have the same success we do.
And they don't get very big neither, right?
No, maybe 2 inches. I've never seen them bigger than that, but that's because I usually sell them.
Yeah.
We got a few Tanganyikan fish in. We've had these guys in the past, Neolamprologus cylindricus. They came in pretty small, about 1 inch long maximum, but that means they're great for shipping and for acclimating too. So these guys look nice. We also got Symbolis in that we can show later, and then we got some new ones too. We got Lucipinus back in stock, everybody.
Nice.
Dwarf Petricola. They came in at a good size this time. Sometimes they come in at like 1/4 of an inch, but these guys are like 1 inch long. Super happy. They're already all hanging out in the plant.
Nice.
And then the new shell dweller we got are Lamprologus heckii, or hecki. They look kind of like Neolamprologus boulangerie. They don't get much bigger than this, maybe about 3 inches. And they can be somewhat aggressive towards each other, hence why they're all kind of up at the top hiding. But very pretty fish. They are shell dwellers, so give them some shells or caves, and they'll get to spawning pretty quickly.
Pretty cool looking fish.
Might as well show off our Akara rostratum
yeah,
breeders.
Showing off some color this morning. Nice.
Very, very unique peacock. I know we've showed them before, but we do have juveniles available for people who want one of those
I think it's crazy that it's an Akara species, but it looks like a predator hat. That's like the missing link between
it must be.
Predator hats.
It looks nothing like a peacock, but it is, and we're excited to be able to breed them because look at those egg spots. They're nice yellow. There looks like 2 females holding fry in there.
And this is a 40-gallon breeder tank. And we've had them in here 6 months, and at least
more than that. We got them.
December.
In December. Yeah. So they've been here almost a year now. One male,
and
5 female.
Look how happy they are. This isn't a 40-gallon tank, so if people want to see these peacocks and haps at their best color, we recommend getting breeder packs. 1 male, 3 females, at least, and you could do that in a 40-gallon tank, and you get to see the male show full color. A lot of times, you know, people buy a full-colored male and then they throw it in their all-male peacock tank, and it loses its color because it's getting beat up from day one. So in this kind of setup, the male has no other competition between other males, and he's able to really show his full potential with it. So.
He's literally never lost color since we got him in.
Really nice.
And yeah, we have juveniles available for those who like kind of oddball fish.
More Tanganyikan. I know we showed those guys off in the past.
Yep, we got some Gelitochromis dickfeldi and some Synodontis dicoris as well. And then we got some Trets in here.
Oh, these are good sized Trets.
Yeah, they came in nice. You know, some people call them the false frontosa or something, but they don't get quite as big as frontosa, but they do get meaner. So there's a trade-off there, but very pretty fish. Even from day one, they have those nice thick stripes.
Yeah, really cool thing. You can
show the slender buffalo heads again.
Oh yeah, these are the ones that we brought in wild caught from the West African, and these are from us, right? Or did we bring in more wild?
These are wild, and we do have some fry that are about half the size of this that were growing up, but you should see the adults, man. I've been trying to get a picture of one of the adults, but they always dart back to their cave. They're about 5 inches long, very big head on them, similar to the normal buffalo head, but they're not as chunky. They're more slender, obviously, hence the name. But very nice fish, pretty peaceful overall. Great choice for kind of like a West African riverine setup.
Guys, I know I'm not answering any questions yet because I'd be interrupting us talking about the new fish, but I will go back through and try to answer any of those questions that you guys have. So
we do have some new Apistos. We've got Cockatoides, triple red. Got some pairs available of those. Right next to them, we've got wild caught Apistogramma Bitaniata as well. And it's hard to see in there right now, and they're somewhat shy, but they have a lot of color. I'm going to do my best to get a photo of them here in the next week or two. But the males are really long fins as well, and tons of color on them.
I really like the bifasciatas. Do we have some of those in here too, or are they in Mike's room?
Those are all in Mikey's room, unfortunately, but we do have Panduro, the Panda Apisto.
Yeah.
They're looking really nice. They're getting big too, very easy to sex now.
I know everybody's been asking for these. Mike's been showing off some of our breeders, but this came from the same breeder that our adults came from. So we got some discus in from the Indo. This is the red turquoise.
These are red turquoise discus. And I think we're going to give this tank through the weekend just to recover from some battle wounds they came in with. But we do have two more awesome colored discus that we're going to be listing later today. These are the Marlboro Red. Nice solid red color, bright red, bright orange. And then we've got red Alenker, which are kind of like a wild type discus almost. They are tank bred, but they're meant to mimic or be super close to what you see coming out of Brazil.
Really nice.
They're nice. They came in a great size, about 3 inches long.
And you know, one thing I'll say about the discus, there's not a lot of healthy discus in the U.S. market because most of the discus that are brought in are hormone at a small size. So fish this size that has been hormone is kind of like the peacock, African peacocks. They, you know, give them, you know, actual methyltestosterone to, you know, color that fish up, even females, to be brightly colored at a very small size. So these guys are more, you know, of the natural look at that size. And what happens when you hormone fish like that, when they come in from overseas, is they have a lot of health issues, and a lot of times they never recover from it. So, you know, when you do buy discus, make sure you find out more about where they came from to make sure that they aren't, you know, artificially colored.
We got 3 more dwarf cichlids I want to show off. Start with these here. These are Congo Chromis Sabine. They are a West African fish. They're pretty skittish right now. Again, that's probably because they were taken out of a river and put into a tank, but very nice. They're similar to Crebensis a little bit in their body shape and colors. The females, they get a nice iridescent patch on their sides, which makes them pretty easy to sex even from a young age. And we're going to try to breed these a little bit if possible and let them grow up so we can get some nice colors. It looks like there's at least one male coloring up back there, but you're probably not going to be able to catch it on the live feed.
Yeah.
But I encourage you to look up that fish, Congo Chromis Sabine.
Yeah.
Check them out. There's plenty of information out there and lots of pictures, so you can really see adults look like. And then these Apistos are tank bred, but they are a wild strain. They're called Apistogramma D3. So very similar to how Plecos have L numbers. Apistogramma have A and D numbers depending on who you talk to, and it's just basically in honor of you know, some of the people that originally exported them. So the D3 Apisto are one of the larger species when they get big. They get bright yellow, and they have a lot of purple in their fins too, which is really unique for not only Apistos but all fish in general.
Yeah, I can see some purple already on that male coming out right there in front of us.
Yeah. Will this guy hold still for you?
Yeah.
You can see the blue cheeks on him, nice yellow fins, very friendly looking face too. I always like that with my Apistos.
Yeah, these guys aren't shy like some of the other ones, so that's pretty cool.
And then these These are Apistogramma D3, and they haven't really started to color up and sex out yet, but they look pretty nice when they're adults. They get nice blue bodies with yellow fins, really pointed fins as well. So again, there's lots of pictures of them out there. It might be a while before we have any good pictures, but they are starting to slowly show signs of male and female, which we like to see.
I think it's pretty cool how they do the numbers, kind of like the L Plecos with the L numbers, because Americans don't speak Latin, so but we easily can remember numbers. You know?
Yeah.
So, so maybe they'll keep that number.
We got some more decent sized Siamese algae eaters as well. Another great fish for blackbeard algae.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's mainly what people use these for, right? For that blackbeard algae, which is notoriously hard to get rid of.
There was an article in Amazonas a few years ago written by Dr. Paul Loisel, and he was writing about the whole genus of this group, Prochychilus, and talking about Siamese algae eaters and fishnet algae eaters. And basically he laid it out as he bought a group of 6, he put them in a tank, let them eat all the algae, and then he moved them to the next tank and repeated that over and over until his whole fish room was clean of algae.
That's crazy.
So it's pretty awesome that you can use them almost as like a utility tool, and then obviously as they get bigger you can move them to bigger tanks because they do get about 5-6 inches. But they're not really that aggressive compared to like Chinese algae eaters and some of the other species that are real mean. Speaking of West Africans, we do have some common cribs here. These are tank bred, very colorful fish when they get big. We do have a video out on them as well on our YouTube page, a little species profile, so you can check that out while you're.
Yeah, I mean this is like you know, one of the more famous fish in the hobby. It's been around a long time because it's an easy fish to keep, an easy fish to breed, and the colors on them are just spectacular.
I don't think I need to explain what these are.
Yeah,
but
everybody's been waiting for these guys.
We got small clown loaches in again, which is great because they ship well. It'll let you enjoy them as they grow up because they do grow pretty quickly. But you can see they're very active. They came in super healthy, acclimated well, which is nice.
That's another fish that a lot of times you'll have bad success, you know, keeping on because you know, you have to baby these fish when they come in, and a lot of times, you know, most sellers, when they bring fish in, they're wanting to sell them as fast as possible. This is another, you know, thing that separates us from a lot of the other competition in the fish game is that, you know, we want to make sure these guys are 100% before we send them out, you know, so you can see these guys schooling back and forth, very, very healthy.
Yep, we actually didn't lose any between, I think we ordered something like almost 200 of them, and we didn't lose a single one. So they came in really nice. We've conditioned them already the last few days, just making sure they get some food in them, and they're very happy.
Since they were asking about puffers early, these guys are growing fast too, right?
Yeah, Chris, I think it was. Here we got another puffer for you, man. These are the Nile or the Fahaka puffers.
That's the coolest name, the Fahaka puffer.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. And they are the most aggressive puffer that we have right now.
And they get big, right?
They get huge. They definitely need their own tank, but people treat them like kind of like a puppy. They're very outgoing. They look great in their own tank, real centerpiece fish, and these are actually tank bred. They came in from the same Indo supplier last order, and you don't really see them too often tank bred. I think this supplier is the only one in the world that's actually producing them for the wholesale market.
Oh, he's got a whole building dedicated to just breeding puffers, and he's got, I don't know, at least a dozen different types of puffers that he's either, you know, breeding or working on breeding. So pretty cool to see that happening.
Let's see, right behind us we got another favorite, the Roseline Shark.
Yep, the Denisani Barb is another name. It's from India, gets about 4 or 5 inches, beautiful red streak on it. I mean, these are like a centerpiece of a tank once they get mature.
Yeah, there's a reason these fish are always on the cover of like the you know, your flake food bottles always have Roselines and German blue rams. They're definitely a staple. Right below them, looking like a bunch of ghosts, we have another favorite that people have been waiting a long time for. Albino Threadfin Akara. All right, now they're obviously very young, very small. They don't have any color at all right now, but I know we've all seen how the big ones look.
I mean, every adult I've ever seen, it's like I don't know, they're like a
yellow,
shellfish,
orange,
you know,
red. They got it all.
Beautiful.
But yeah, these came in pretty nice, and they should be ready for sale as well today. They haven't had any issues with them aside from.
In fact, I wouldn't mind taking a small group of these out and letting Mike grow them up again. Because we had some that we grew up to adults and then they ended up crashing on us. So I think we should grow some more of these back up because that's just a show looking fish right there.
Definitely. We got, probably jump around a little bit, we got Azul Peacock Bass, the Cicla Paquiti.
I know people have been asking for those guys.
Yep, we also got Golden Kelberi Peacock Bass as well that they just passed a few moments ago.
Got a redhead in there showing some good colorations. Redhead top of hoe.
And this is another favorite of lots of people, the poor man's discus, the Waru, the triangle cichlid. These came in at basically the perfect size, right around 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Haven't had any issues. A lot of the time, Waru don't ship very well, especially the wild ones, so it's really nice to have tank bred ones to play around with and distribute.
Yeah, these are also very peaceful, right? They're herbivores, right?
Yeah, very, very peaceful. They do get big, just like Severum. They'll get 8 inches long at full size, so they need a big tank, but they usually don't go out looking for trouble. So great for big South American community tanks. And we actually have a new Tetra that would go well with them further down back here that I'm super excited about.
Oh yeah.
We got yellowfin Chelsea, and you can find these pretty much all over the Amazon. They have a couple different species, like the pink fins, but the yellowfins have the nicest scales. You can see the fishnet pattern really comes through. They have
the scales are really nice on it. It reminds me of like the Asian Arowana scale pattern.
Yeah, they do look almost very identical to that. They have bright pink tails with the yellow anal and pelvic fins. These guys are perfect for your bigger South American communities with some Waru, with Severums.
And these are what I call like dither fish for big tanks.
Exactly.
Like, big fish that are aggressive even. You could keep these fish with them and they typically will not bother them. I can't guarantee it, but typically they leave them alone. So, and it kind of works as a calming effect for the more aggressive fish,
Yeah, and
There's the other peacock.
there's the peacock bass, the Kelberi. They came in great as well too. They're eating already, which sometimes peacock bass don't eat.
Yeah, we brought in a lot of fish, guys. This is just all the...
This is all the new stuff this week. These guys actually were from a few weeks ago. They're from Peru. They're called basically a Cyclosoma species. We're not sure exactly what they are, but they're probably going to be similar to Dimeris, if you're familiar with those. Right now they're pretty young. We're just letting them grow up, but they're a nice, cheap South American cichlid if you're looking just for something unique to throw in your cichlid community. They'll get probably about 5 inches long.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They're not like tank busters.
Yeah, they're not super big, and like I said, they're pretty cheap. Great option for those who just want to play around with some stuff that you don't see too often.
And these are wild caught, right?
Those are wild caught. Yep. The Arowana in this tank are wild caught as well, out of Colombia. They've been doing well. They're starting to get some color on them too.
Yeah. Now these are the ones that had the egg sac when we first got them, and we let them grow up a little bit, or?
Yeah. When they come in from the wild, they're literally newborns with their egg sac hanging down, which is pretty funny. It looks like kind of like a punching bag, or what is that, like arcade game? The boxing bag. But yeah, they absorb it pretty quickly, and then we start feeding them floating foods, and
Since
they do
we can't have the Asian Arowana, we have to settle for the silver and the black.
Yeah.
These are really cool. I didn't show these off last time. These came in on the last Peru order, right?
Yep, these are another Peruvian. I think I've showed them at least once. Brocus multiradiatus, the big hognose cory.
They're huge.
4 inches long. I mean, they're a
This
robust
is a
fish.
75-gallon tank right here, and I mean, just to give you an idea, I mean, they're like 4 inches, you know.
They're awesome. They're super outgoing. They're not scared of the camera. They'll do great with you know, the waru and the chalceus. Like, this is what, you know, I was talking about, is now we have a lot of these fish that can go together, and we can help you set up, you know, a new tank regardless of what you're looking for, big or small or South American.
Great.
Sorry to interrupt.
So, this is another new one we got in just now.
Yeah.
This is the Bulgarian green angelfish. And this one is pretty new to the hobby and to the States overall. I think they first came to the US about 8 years ago, and very few people have them. When they get big, they keep that nice platinum body color, and they get really thick green fins. You can kind of see how that green's coming through, but do some research for yourself. Look at pictures online, and you'll see what I mean.
Amazonas did an article on these guys a few years back, right?
Yep. I was just telling them back when they first came in. We're super excited to have these.
It's the first time every time we order them, they always short us.
Yep.
So we finally were able to get some in. So it's exciting. That's a really nice fish. This guy, just because we're walking by him, but even at that 3-inch side, this is the Geophagus sieveni.
Yep.
And the picture that you posted up there on Facebook the other day, even the females have good color, but the males will have, you know, brighter colors. But this is probably my favorite geo that we have right now.
Hands down, it's probably one of the prettiest. And yeah, females look identical to males. The males have slightly longer trailers at the tips of their fins. So you can see on that big one, the top part of his caudal fin is kind of trailing off into a very thin strand. Males will have longer strands than females, but that's literally it. You know, so they're great. They get probably 8 inches big, maybe slightly bigger if you give them the space, but super peaceful geo.
I'd like to see somebody set up a 125 with these guys and some of these Roaches Corys.
That's a challenge for you.
That'd be a good looking tank right there.
We'll feature you on our website.
Yep.
Got some Dovai in from the pond, some big 4 to 5 inchers. We do have both males and females up on the website right now, guys. So if you've been waiting for one or the other, I know we don't always have sexed options, but right now we do. It looks like this tank's probably about 50-50. And we had one male go out today, actually. Chris, if you're watching, man, I picked you out a good one, so hopefully he gets there safely. But they look great. They get nice blue fins when they get older.
Yeah, hands down, one of the meanest fish that we have. So these guys are vicious, and that's one reason we could keep them. They're in a 75 right here, and there's probably what 24 to 5 inch fish. But if we took that down to like 4 fish, then somebody's going to be dying. So when it's kind of like Mabunas, when you keep them a little bit crowded, they can't get territorial. So that's one reason we keep at least 20 of them in a tank like that. We don't even have to show these guys off because they sell no matter what. Electric blue cars are incredibly popular. Oh yeah.
Got some really nice black angels in. Our breeders slowed down recently, so we figured, heck, let's get some from Indonesia, and they don't disappoint. I mean, they're only 1 inch long and they're solid black.
Yeah, really good markings on them at that size. Really like how they've got this tank decorated too with the driftwood and everything. It looks really nice.
It looks great. It looks like what I imagined back when I think to my first aquarium. You know, just a piece of driftwood, some fake plants, and some angelfish.
Yeah. Do we have a video of these guys come out already too?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a Nile puffer that we threw in there with them because there were a lot of snails in that tank. So we're using them as a little pickup cleaner, and you can see most of the snails have actually come off. But like a week ago, this whole tank was like covered in little tiny snails.
That's awesome.
But yeah, these are flagtail Proculotus.
I guess if he's going to hang around, we might as well put him to work, right?
Yeah, these guys get big. They do need like a 75 or bigger tank, but They're very peaceful. They will sometimes nip at other fish's scales with those rasping mouths, but overall, if you keep them fed, they'll be fine.
Yeah. Another big, beautiful dither fish.
Yeah, awesome, awesome fish. Got a couple bikers from a few orders ago. These are Ornate Bikers, another one of the more pretty species in my opinion. Nice, they get really nice black and tan spots on them when they get big. They're probably like a quarter of the way grown right now. I've seen them up to 10 inches long, about 1.5 inches diameter if you were to put your fist around them.
Really nice markings on them. Anything else up here?
Nothing
from
new on this rack. We do have some new rainbows to show you. I know someone was asking
Go buy
about
some
rainbows
plant
earlier this
tanks.
week. Oh, actually, let's show the crypt flamingo off these plants here. These
Oh, yeah, they're starting.
these are awesome cryptocorans. They you give them a lot of iron and a lot of light, and they'll turn bright pink, almost like a metallic dusting over their leaves. Super nice.
Really nice. Really adding a lot more plants lately too, so I'm excited about that. I like these Madagascar lace. I put one in my tank at the house and that
Yeah,
thing's
just exploding.
exploding, yeah.
Yeah, we got some rainbows, and then we'll show some of the new Africans we pulled in from the ponds. And then we'll let you get back to your work or whatever you're doing this Friday. But the new rainbows we got in are starting with these little guys, the blue eyes. Luminatus or Paskai rainbows.
Oh, the red pass guys.
Yeah, they're small. We had them last time as well, and people seem to like them. They did really well. Very energetic little fish. They get about 1.25 inches, perfect for 10-gallon tanks. Again, you know, I love my small fish, so I'll talk about them all day. But the males are solid red with bright blue eyes. Females are more of a pink with bright blue eyes.
And this is a relatively new, bred fish
Yeah.
in the hobby.
Yeah.
Within the last, I'd say, 5 years, it's became more popular. So, really nice, small rainbow species.
We got some more of those, the new Bozeman ice strain that's in the market, Avis Creek. These guys are supposed to be a little bit smaller and a little bit more red than your typical Bozeman eye out of Florida or even the Itino as well. So those guys look good. I can't sex them yet, sorry, but you know, by a group, I encourage you to try to breed them anyway. And these are Blythe River rainbows, so they're very similar to goiter rivers. They're also Melanotania trifasciata. And we had these guys a few months ago. We had some big ones that we got from a local rainbow fish breeder. And I was excited to get them again at a smaller size. They look great. They have lots of color already.
Yeah.
Really nice red and blue on them. We got the Itino Bozeman eye up here.
I'm just excited that we can offer location type Bozeman because for the longest time, you know, you would see Bozeman, nobody would know where the strain of that Bozeman came from. So to have people going out collecting them and keeping the location on them, I think it's pretty exciting. And that's the Antenio that we've had those, you know, breed. We got breeders of those, really nice.
These guys, it's been a while since we had them, but I know we've carried them before, and they are a somewhat common rainbow, but we decided to give them another try. They are the Irian Red Rainbow, and you can see they have a nice bronze color to them. The males get nice and red that covers up the bronze a little bit, and you know, someone might say they look kind of like Millennium rainbows.
Yeah.
And
But they're
that's
definitely uniquely different. Their body shape primarily, and that silver, you know, on a body like that.
They are different, but it's interesting. The scientific name for Millennium rainbows is essentially the false Irian Red Rainbow. So, you know, these were found and described scientifically at some point, and then, you know, however many years later, they find the Millennium and said, "Wow, it looks like the Irian Red. Let's call it the fake Irian Red and be done with it."
But the Millennium's the one that really made a name for itself, and here's the Millennium right here, and you can see the difference. I mean, these guys are more just solid red than males.
Yep, yep. They definitely color up younger too, which I think helps. You know, the Irian Reds, when they get big, they look almost identical to the Millenniums, but definitely from a 2-inch size, they have more color. And then This is our last new rainbow, the Skull Creeks. Earlier today they were flashing their fins a little bit, but it looks like they calmed down. They used to be McCullochai rainbow, but now they got scientifically described as something separate. But they're a nice yellow rainbow fish with those black stripes, really unique body shape and color.
And these rainbows are coming from a breeder, that's a friend of ours. In fact, I went collecting with him, that is going out into, you know, West Papua and collecting all these new rainbows and actually breeding them at his facility. So it's making these fish available for the hobby.
So this tank has two species. The silver ones with the black stripe are Tania Chromis holotania. They're a big, kind of like a predator hap. They're not super aggressive, but they do get big. And then the pink ones are the pink flash fryer eye that we showed off right at the start with our giveaway. So
these are juvies then?
These are juvies, yep. These are just out in the pond about a month and a half. So, you know, they do grow quickly out there, but they're not going to have any full color or be able to be sexed yet. But we'll show you some males here in a minute. I know someone was looking for star sapphires. Right now, we just have a few juveniles. We're working on getting some more. But they are a fish that goes quickly, so we'll get in a batch of 40, and then by the end of the week, we might have none left. So
yeah, no, those of the Madokas have been going really fast.
They've been flying out. Let's see.
Nice
Lots of
labs.
yellow labs. Oh, this one's interesting. I don't know if I've showed it off yet. Chilo tilapia rhodesii. They're actually a snail-eating cichlid from Malawi. So, you know, you have a snail infestation in your tank and you want a nice hap to throw in there, you can throw these in there and they will actually crunch up the snails, which
That's
is
unique. I didn't know that
super
about
awesome. Yeah, one of the best you know, talking points for this fish, and they seem to be coloring up pretty well. They the males get basically solid blue, but yeah, it's definitely all about the snail eating capabilities of them.
There's some of the Madokas right there.
Yeah, we got a few Madoka. We're working on getting some more in. They are just real mean to each other, so when we bring them in from the pond, they always start attacking. So it takes us a while to make sure they're, you know, 100% ready to go.
Sure. Big adults off on those guys.
These are big black orange dorsal breeders. They kind of slowed down too. They're just kind of hanging out here. Let's see, we got fire blue and Dewey haps. These are similar to a red empress, but they're not really as red, they're more blue. But they do have red in their anal fin, as you can see. And these males they're about 3.5, 4 inches, so they'll get bigger and more colorful, but super nice hap there.
See if we can get a.
We got a big Spilenotus, and I think that Spilenotus, he's up for sale right now as a what you see, what you get. So if you like him, go pick him up because he is like,
move that.
he's like 8 inches. Yeah. He's a big
he's
guy.
Worth seeing.
That's a nice fish right there. So this is Protomelis Spilenotus Tanzania, and we kind of decided to stop breeding them because at some point I'd like to get my hands on the Protomelis Spilenotus Imperial because I think that would be fun to breed. Fish named after us. Well,
Yeah.
not really, but we share a common name, right? So yeah, here's the tank of the pink flash males that colored up in the pond. You can see they're about 3 inches, the big ones, and they're just stunning.
Yeah, they're just now really starting to get their colors, and a lot of variants in them. Like some have more white and red, orangish red. So it's kind of reminds me of like the dragon blood.
That one back there looks great.
Yeah. So pretty cool that they're so uniquely different than each other, you know.
And then below them we have the new peacocks that we seined in on last week's live stream.
Oh yeah, they were asking about these, the chalumbas.
Yep, Akara Stuart Granti Chalumba, so it's a wild type strain. They get basically solid blue as they grow up. You know, they do have some yellow in them as they mature, but that tends to go away once they get about 4 or 5 inches long.
Yeah, that picture that you got of the adult male, I mean, it's like, wow.
That's a breeder male. We've still got him. He's still kicking out babies with his females, so you know, these fish came from him essentially, and another male. So super excited to offer these guys. I know we sent a few out already to some people yesterday, and we'll be sending some out on Monday as well. So if you've been waiting for them, definitely get them now. We have males here, and we have some juveniles as well, about 2 inches long. If you're looking for females, feel free to email me. I might have some to spare, but a lot of them are going to be too young to sex, unfortunately.
Yeah, we save a lot of the females back on these new strains. This is one of the strains that we got from Germany, so you know, we like to boost up our females on those guys. But you know, if you're interested in getting some to breed, we might be able to break off a few females for you.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the new stuff. I think we got a nice male Benga in there, fully colored up at 3.5 inches.
Yeah. We also brought that in on that German order too, right? That strain of Bengas.
We brought in a Panda Benga actually yesterday.
Originally, did they come from the German order?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're a nice strain, nice yellow and blue on them. And we'll hopefully also have the Malaria Island strain coming up soon as well, which is another yellow peacock.
Yeah.
I like the yellow peacocks a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I'm gonna run through these comments. Y'all tell Drayden goodbye. Thanks for talking to us. And I'm gonna run through these questions real quick because I know there was a bunch of them, and I always like to try to answer them, even though I might have to go through them. If you're not already, you should join our Imperial Tropicals Facebook group. It's called Imperial Tropicals Fish Keepers. It's a private group for our customers, and it's a great place to go and learn more about, you know, the fish that we keep and breed, and actually all types of fish. I see fish posted on there all the time that I'm learning about too. So just a great community. So if you're not on that, that's a great place to ask questions. So like if you don't see us answer a question, go to that group. Those guys, you know, they're 24/7. Somebody's on Facebook, and somebody will go through there and help you guys out. So all right. A flick of the wrist says we were on the reminder. It says AM. I don't know. I might have typo. I actually threw that giveaway together at the last minute yesterday afternoon because I had planned all week to do one. So it could have been my fault on typing it up. I'm gonna flip this around. This is the one that was on the giveaway. I actually can't even remember the name of the person that bought it because we've done so much in the last 45 minutes. But this is the pink flash that you guys saw in that giveaway video. So he's sitting right there and he's waiting for the winner. So go through some of these comments, flip this camera around. All right. What's up, James Smith on? Once I get the tank over 100 gallons, he'll be getting one. All right. Nice. Chris was asking what kind of puffers. We showed them all off in the beginning, and then towards the end we showed the Fajakas. Keith's asking about the Amazon. I know Drayden's working on an order right now, and he's trying to get some of the Amazon puffers on. It's been a few months though since we had any of those in. So Ahmad says, sweet office. I appreciate it, man. Brian Jeffries, we showed some of the juvenile star sapphires. Man, we're trying to breed those guys as fast as we can, but they're not like other haps and, you know, even peacocks. You know, a lot of times, you know, they'll breed like rabbits, star sapphires, and Madokas. They can be kind of moody. Like they'll breed like crazy for a month or so, and then they'll just shut down for a while. So but we are working on getting more brood stock on those, you know, growing up and breeding. So I'm hoping in the future that we can start offering some, like, you know, fully specced out males is what I'm hoping. David, we did get to show the Chilumbas, so that was exciting. I didn't show the Turkish, but I think we showed them off last week. They're a little bit young. They're not really like popping with that turquoise color, but we do have some Turkish. James says his order came in and everything went great. Awesome. Don't forget, we got the winners on the $20 promo, so we'll be in there right after this, you know, sending out notices to everybody. Nick's asking about Copochromis Gertzi. So I actually had some probably about 5 years ago. And man, they never colored up for me. In fact, I didn't have any luck breeding them. So I ended up giving them to a friend of mine down in South Florida to work on. The Copochromis species are spectacular, but they are moody as heck when they want to breed and when they want to color up. So it's a nice fish, really rare though. I don't know many people that have the Gertzi, but they would be a nice one now that I've got more tank space. Maybe that'd be another fish, you know, that we'll try to work with again. Meatball Mark's in the house. Dragon Lair's asking about false Julies anymore. You know, I don't know anybody breeding a lot of Corys really anymore, except our friend in Indonesia. He's got quite a selection that he's breeding. There's a guy here in Florida that breeds, you know, just the common albino, paleatus, green, and the pandas. But outside of that, the hobby in the U.S., there's a lot of hobbyists that are breeding a lot of nice Corys. So, you know, if you join one of those Cory Facebook group pages, Corydoras Facebook group pages, you could probably get some of that other stuff. But we're trying to get in more and more Corys. So, you know, those Corys that he showed off from Indo, those are really going to be special fish. So I'm super excited about expanding our Corys. James asking about imported any new Africans. No, I mean, really, there's nobody that we would import Africans from except our friends in Germany or wild caught. That's really the only two sources outside the country. I mean, the U.S., us in particular, we have probably the best African selection already here. So if we're going to improve on what we already have, I would be ordering them from Germany or from Africa direct. So, and there's a lot of other breeders in the U.S. that have some really nice strains of Africans. But when it comes to Asia, there's not a lot of good African breeders over there. Most of them are only interested in like selling peacocks that are juiced up. So they really don't get a lot of the new strains of Akara species to breed. So not a lot of selection for importing Africans except Germany and wild caught, you know. Nice. All right, I'm on Dominican Republic's in the house. Gabriel, nice. Ahmad said he wants 20 of the black orange dorses. All right, we showed the rainbows off. Victoria Way, Albany, New York. What's up? New Jersey's in the house. Nicholas, Ali Sean, what's up? Gary. I haven't ordered from IT in forever. Alan Brown, hey, we're still here. In fact, if it's been a long time, you might be surprised at all the different fish that we have now because, you know, with this new building here, it's been pretty amazing, all the new varieties of fish that we are able to keep now. And the fact that, you know, we're keeping them in the ideal environment, temperature, water parameters. I mean, everything's just really happening for us right now. And we just placed an order for, I think it's like 240 new aquariums. So we're gonna finish wrapping up this room with tanks, and then we got a special project that we're going to work on in the front area of the warehouse. All that you see up there eventually is going to be like a showroom with big aquariums. So, but we gotta finish getting all these racks built and all these tanks up. So, all right, guys, I'm just scrolling through these comments. Last one, a flick of the wrist, is asking, can you show the albino dragon bloods? Since that's the last comment, I will walk over because I seen them when we went by earlier. And you can see some of them starting to show some good colors, but most of them are juvenile. But once those males start, you know, showing some great colors, you'll see them look just like our other dragon blood strain. So, all right, guys, appreciate all the support that you've given us. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Don't forget, next Friday we're going to be doing another giveaway. I have no idea what it is, but stay tuned. It's going to be something cool, I promise you. So have a good weekend and stay safe. Thank you.